Hi everyone, I hope that you're really well. I am back with a video for you today, and what I'd really like to show you is a really fascinating documentary that somebody sent me, and it's doing the rounds at the moment. I highly recommend that you have a look at it because it's brilliant. It's very thorough and very well put together. Now, this documentary deals with many things that you might remember from the past, a few random loose ends and events that happened, and it kind of ties them together and it presents them in a really coherent, systematic and thorough and clear way. It's brilliant. It's done by a Dutch lady. I don't know much about it, but it is doing the rounds, and it's doing the rounds for good reason, so check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Now, you can see from the picture, it says, in order for the light to shine so brightly, the darkness must be present. Bit of a strange thing, and it's by an artist called Francis Bacon, who did some very weird looking pictures, to say the least. I wouldn't bother Googling if you've got a weak disposition, but it's interesting because the amount of, it's almost like to prep you for some of the things that are covered in this documentary, which in my opinion, it's essential watching. We're very much presented with one set of opinions. It's my belief, and this is from my years of being a journalist, you were always told to look at every angle before you could make an objective decision on your own. So in order to do that, you should definitely watch this documentary. And it's been showed to me by people that are not normally into stuff like this. And I've showed it to people who are very much like mainstream, and they've absolutely found it fascinating and brilliant, just like I did. So do check it out. The other reason I wanted to put up this quote was just to kind of show you that it's kind of, the good and the bad. They're two sides of the same coin. So do look at it from a sense of unity, because actually one could not even exist without the other. They're actually kind of diametrically opposed, but they're also kind of linked. So that's something to think about. This is, it's really important because you might not want to face up to some of the things that are in there, but it's really important that you do. And she kind of explains it actually in the documentary, something called cognitive dissonance, which you might have heard of. So what is cognitive dissonance? It's probably best if she kind of describes it in the thing rather than me, but this made me laugh because it was kind of like me back when I had long hair. There are certain things that she covers in this documentary that even I, considering myself to be, intelligent and quite brave and willing to look at things definitely in a way that most people aren't, I was doing this to certain things. So this is a really oversimplified description of cognitive dissonance that I found online. And sometimes it's very much to do with confronting core beliefs that we have. And it's similar to sort of denial as well. Maybe for some people it could be more like, I don't want to look at this, I don't want to face it. It's to do with denial, but it's so worth it if you actually do. Now, as well as, having a nice excuse to put up a nice picture of Mel Gibson from back in the day, I just want to use this to illustrate some of my instances of cognitive dissonance, which I didn't even know that I was really doing. But do you remember a while back, a few years ago, he just kind of came out and said all this stuff that sounded absolutely crazy, and then he got blacklisted by Hollywood and everything, and you never heard of him again, and we all forgot about, him. Well, so much stuff has come to light right now with loads of different things. And guess what? It sounds like Mel Gibson wasn't that crazy after all. Thank goodness he's actually still around. And, I keep saying to everyone, it's so important to have your hold on God, because he's a very religious person. I'm not saying be religious, but have that sense of God and of the divine, because it does really help. The two other people I want to talk about are Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington, who were two rock stars who passed away. They were actually really good friends and survivors of abuse themselves. And they passed away in very strange circumstances. And quite frankly, because I idolized these people growing up, and Mel Gibson as well, showing my age, but back in the day, Lethal Weapon and kind of whatnot, Mad Max, I was crazy about these people. And it's like, you don't want to hear about bad things happening to them. You don't want to hear about their fall from grace, going a bit crazy. And you don't want to hear about them passing away. You don't want to look into those things. And to me, to think about these people, Chris Cornell and Chester being killed off, it was just, I didn't want to think about that because it challenged my core belief. Now, I won't say too much about them because it is covered in the documentary, because she's done some and presented some fantastic research. But these two, Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington, they were basically working on a documentary to expose abuse, basically. And can you see how all these themes are kind of coming together and coming to a head right now? So to end, I just want to, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and this is a match. The fact that, the flame has no shadow, the light has no shadow, and essentially, this is how things are exposed and they're changed at the end of the day. So it's so important. One really great thing that you can do is just open your mind and have a listen to this, and then make up your own mind after, whether you think it's true, whether you think it's not, whatever. And I just got to add, even though this is completely unrelated to the video, it's so important in these challenging times with lockdown, etc., to be very, very stable. And I have to say, with me, I'm really enjoying my time. It's very peaceful for me. I get time to go within, and other people I am aware are finding it very intense, kind of running up the walls a bit. And the only reason I can get through it and enjoy this time, see the best of it, is because of my spiritual practices. Now, that's why I'm just going to have a little mention of this. My guru, who has given me all the tools that I use to keep me as I am, he's offering some stuff for other people as well. And it's really, really uplifting. There's a talk and a meditation and some activations that happen. And also there is an extra package of a chant and some kriyas, which is like an inner energy work. It's like an inner energy exercise that you do. That's available online now, and daily there are talks with meditations, activations that happen at the various times that I've mentioned before. So do check it out. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And in the meantime, enjoy the video. Because in order to actually watch this stuff and face up to it, you do need that stability. That's why I'm putting up this link, because I definitely think it's given me the strength to be able to face up to these things in a way that I wasn't able to before. And I see that now. I only really see it now that I've got that kind of stability and that distance, and it doesn't seem to be so overwhelming. I'm hearing so many people, readers, whatever, actually talking about their anxiety online. And I really feel for them, because, it doesn't really have to be that way. There is a line that Krishna said to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita before, during that time in the Mahabharata. Then it was, before you do anything, establish yourself in yoga. And yoga meaning not just the practice of yoga, but that sense of stability, of oneness. And this is all just to work our way towards that, really. Because I can't help but think, what is going to help us in this time? What is going to save us? It's that feeling of all being in this together and transcending the challenges. All right, sending you guys so much love. Speak to you later. Bye.